Hi, I'm KJ, and Kathy's asked me to do some supplement training with you. I thought probably the best thing to do is to teach it as if I was teaching customers, because realistically that's the information that you need. And sometimes I personally find it a little bit hard when I first started with doTERRA to remain compliant with the supplements, because that was something that I have taught lots on vitamin deficiencies and things as a nutrition and holistic therapist, and then suddenly there was things that I was going, oh well, I can't say that because that doesn't seem compliant. But the reality is there's plenty of compliant information that's really, really great. And doTERRA don't want everybody to have a nutrition qualification to be able to share supplements. We want to be able to share these supplements with as many people as possible, and to do that we need to be able to remain compliant about them. So I'm going to basically teach you a class that I would teach to people who were completely new to doTERRA. If there are any questions, feel free to type them in the box and I'll answer at the end. Otherwise, we'll just leave it there. So I've got a PowerPoint to share with you guys, which I've only just learned how to do. So hopefully that's working nicely. And I teach from a script. I always teach from a script. And that's the way Elise Shedley taught me to do it. And I think it's really good because it makes you replicable. It means that people aren't viewing you as an expert. They're kind of going, oh, I could do that. And you can share your scripts with your downline, which is really, really great to be able to do. So firstly, I would welcome people to the class. We can skip that. But the first thing I show people is the doTERRA lifestyle pyramid, and I remind them that doTERRA's philosophy regarding healthy lifestyle choices, and that we make informed, proactive participation about our own healthcare. And that philosophy has helped millions of families all around the globe. One way we do this is through our certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils and other wellness products that are specifically formulated to support the wellness philosophy of eating right, exercising, resting, managing stress, and reducing toxic load. In addition, we focus on education so that you have the knowledge to make better choices for your health and better choices for your entire family. Our mission is to teach people to live healthy, productive lives and share the blessing of a lifetime of wellness with others. So this is where our lifestyle pyramid comes in. First of all, eating right, so eating live, whole plant foods that help you repair and generate and regenerate from the inside out. The goal being to completely eliminate processed foods from your diet and to drink at least half your body weight in pounds in fluid ounces each day. So if you weighed 100 pounds, 50 fluid ounces of water every day. Exercise is key. You've got to be regularly moving your body, rest, management, stress. In today's society, lots of us aren't resting enough, but we should be aiming for at least 7 to 9 hours of sleep each night. So edging towards 9 if you're female, 7 for men. We just need a bit more sleep, ladies. And reducing toxic load. We all know about green cleaning and trying to get rid of those nasty chemicals from our homes, and using our green alternatives, using our On Guard cleaning concentrate and things. All of those things put stress on the body. Informed self-care, using essential oils and other wellness products where possible, and then proactive medical care. So when you're suffering from acute sickness or have been diagnosed with an illness, seeking out competent, qualified medical professionals to help you immediately with that. And then I'd normally ask people which areas they feel strongest or weakest on in the pyramid. And then we move on to, are vitamins important? So pretty much anyone in the scientific community who seriously studies vitamins and minerals and nutrition agrees that almost everybody falls short on taking the bare minimum requirements, which are known as the recommended dietary intakes. I don't think you'll find anyone who says that we are taking in enough at the moment. Partly this is down to the way we farm. Our soil isn't good anymore, and a plant is only as nutritious as the soil it's grown in. So there's varying statistics around, but one that I think is really interesting is a tomato grown on the same farm 10 years later, on average, has about 20% less nutrition than it did 10 years ago if you look at the overall vitamin profile. We're not farming properly, we're kind of mass producing all our fruits and vegetables, so even if you are eating a really healthy non-processed food diet, you're getting less nutrition than you would have done eating the exact same diet 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 50 years ago. As all disease, I would say, all illnesses, all sicknesses, they come from three things. There's toxicity, so we talked about toxic load and stress on the body. There's deficiency, which is vitamin and nutrient deficiencies, and there's genetics, which you do have control over. It's not just bad luck and bad genes. You can affect your epigenome, and you can switch your genes on and off with lifestyle choices, including toxicity and deficiencies. So addressing deficiency is a really, really key part in my mind of living abundantly and enjoying good health. So trying to get all the recommended daily intake for all 26 vitamins, minerals and trace elements or micronutrients from foods is pretty much impossible in today's society, even if you're having a wholesome and balanced diet. Fruits and vegetables are rich in these micronutrients, and they contain important phytonutrients, so carotenoids, polyphenols and essential oils, etc. But hardly anybody eats enough fruits and vegetables, and a recent analysis of WHO, that's the World Health Organization, is the British Journal of Nutrition in 2014, showed that this was a worldwide problem. 3 out of 4 people on the planet don't even meet the minimum recommended 5 daily servings of fruits and vegetables. And to be honest, 5 is not great. The study that they did it on showed improvements in your health if you ate 12 servings of fruits and vegetables. But they looked at the study and they went, oh, it's unrealistic. Nobody could eat 12, which I disagree actually, but lots of people do. Sorry, let me get rid of that little notification at the bottom. But to try and make it more realistic, some governments picked 9, some picked 7, ours picked 5. So we decided that the British public were not capable of having 9 or 7 portions of fruit or veg a day, let alone 12. So we went with 5. And the reality is that actually 3 out of 4 people aren't even eating that. Instead, modern diets are high in refined foods and beverages devoid of micronutrients and full of empty calories. I don't have the data for here, but in the US, 9 out of 10 adults don't meet the recommended daily intake for vitamin D or vitamin E. Over half don't meet the intakes for vitamin A, calcium and magnesium. And even if you are vegan or vegetarian, you're unlikely to be getting enough of these nutrients. Long term, the deficiencies can cause lack of energy, poor immunity, weak bones, cognitive decline, and a whole host of other health problems. They're not generally immediate. So when people come to me with symptoms, they've usually been suffering them for a long time. They've been to their doctor and couldn't get an immediate fix for it. And that's because you don't become deficient in a vitamin overnight. It's 10, 20, 30, 40 years sometimes of being deficient. In fact, 40 years vitamin B12, you're born with enough to get you through to your mid-30s, early 40s. So you can have no vitamin B12 your whole life and you won't start feeling any deficiency symptoms for most people until you're in your mid-30s, early 40s, which is why people go, well, I've always eaten like this and I'm fine. And then suddenly I'm sick. Well, it takes a little while for your body. Your body will cope for as long as possible. It pulls vitamins and nutrients out of things like your bones to try and manage what it needs to do. But that means that you sometimes don't notice your deficiency for a long time. So the real question is, which supplement should you take and how should it be formulated? Are the recommended daily intakes even enough? We know that today for most micronutrients they're not actually, and that the optimum intake is often much, much higher than the recommended daily intakes. How much higher often depends on the condition that your body is in currently. So for example, a really obvious one, which is an interesting one to do, is that you can work out how deficient you are in vitamin C by taking it to bowel tolerance, which is as fun as it sounds. The recommended daily intake is 1,000 milligrams, but if you're sick, you can take a lot more than that. In fact, if you've got the flu, you can usually take around 1,000 milligrams every half hour without reaching bowel tolerance. It's one of the, sort of in orthomolecular medicine, that's one of the diagnostic criteria for the flu as opposed to a cold, is can you take, how much vitamin C can you take, because your body uses it to help fight those viruses. In fact, cancer patients have been known to take over 300,000 milligrams an hour with no adverse side effects, because the chemotherapy puts such a stress on the body. So yeah, how much higher? What should we be taking? What happens if we get too much? And these kind of questions have kept scientists busy for the last 50 years or so, and lots and lots and lots of research out there. So the first thing to say is not all vitamins are created equally. The first multivitamins that hit the shelves in the 50s and 60s are a staple of today's retail and mass market. They're the ones that you'll find very cheap in the supermarkets. Realistically, they've got written on them how much of a vitamin is in them, but it's how much is in the capsule. It's not how much you absorb, and lots of these vitamins aren't really bioavailable. They usually don't deliver very much of these vitamins and minerals actually into the body. What happens is they go through the body, so you'll find them still in the stool, but there's not a lot that's actually been in the body. And oftentimes as well, you'll hear people talk about, well, there's no point taking vitamin C, it all just comes out in your urine. If it's in your urine, it's been through your body. So if your body's used something, it's been into the bloodstream, it's done its job, you excrete it through your urine. If it's come out through your stool, then your body hasn't used it, you haven't absorbed it at all. So I always ignore people who say, oh, but then you just got expensive wee if you take these vitamins. Well, if it's expensive wee, it's wee that's, you've used some of it. Whereas if it's not in the urine, if it just comes out the stool, then you haven't used it at all. So, got off track here. Inexpensive vitamins. Mineral sources are often poorly absorbed and utilised by the body. They lack phytonutrients and essential omega-3 fatty acids. It's really important when you take a vitamin supplement that you take it with essential fatty acids, because a lot of our vitamins are fat soluble and they won't cross through your digestive system unless you take those fats with them as well. So these sort of chalky vitamins that don't come with any oils or fats attached to them, they're not very well absorbed by your body unless you're taking an omega-3 supplement with them as well. That's why lots of people suggest cod liver oil and things like that, but our oil-based vitamins don't need that. So research in the 80s and 90s suggested that above recommended daily intake amounts of certain antioxidant vitamins, particularly some B vitamins and trace elements, can have additional health benefits. And these studies paved the way for a current generation of micronutrient supplements, in particular in direct sales markets. So you'll find there's actually a number of network marketing companies that sell really, really high dose supplements, but they're not well balanced. And one of the quotes from one of my favourite speakers on orthomolecular medicine, Dr. Andrew Saul, you should look him up sometime if you're interested, he's a very funny guy. But he says vitamin B3, lots of people talk about vitamin B3, it's kind of a superhero in the nutritional world. But he says B vitamins are like baseball players, they don't work well without a team. There's no point having a baseball team with only one guy on it. You've got to get the vitamins in correct balance, otherwise they just don't work. You're just wasting your money. So although these products often contain very, very high doses of certain vitamins, they tend to be focused on one or two vitamins that they're selling as their superfood or their super product. And they don't actually give you the baseline nutrition that you need to be able to absorb all of them. Competition's fierce between the companies though, and they like playing this more is better game with specific nutrients. But recent and long-term studies have shown that megadosing one vitamin often doesn't work and sometimes can have side effects. So there's nothing too serious, to be honest, guys. Nobody's ever died of taking a vitamin supplement or a nutrient supplement, like ever. Like 0 deaths from vitamins, that's not a thing. this negative side effects can just be things like nausea or you know, a bit of dry skin. It's not terrible, but the reality is you're wasting your money because you're not able to absorb and deal with the deficiencies in other areas because you're stuck on this one vitamin that's being overdosed. So I have some really good news for you though, because the good news is that doTERRA have never believed in the more is better horsepower game on specific nutrients. They have always taken a fairly unique position that we need balance in everything, that we need balance in our multivitamins, that we need balance in our minerals, that we need balance in our omegas. So we have got a really balanced product. If you want to impress a nutritionist that you're thinking about signing up, I would always recommend showing them either Terrazymes or Microplex VMZ. We'll get to it in a minute, but nutritionists are always very impressed when they read the back of that one. So if we took a huge step back a couple of hundred years ago, in fact, a couple of thousand years ago, when humans first roamed the planet, our genes change very slowly. We do evolve, but it takes time. For most of history, we've eaten hunter-gatherer type diets, and it's only very, very recently that we have industrialized the food process. In fact, in the last 100 years, dramatic changes have occurred with industrialization of our food supply, with factories creating foods. And our modern diets look very, very different to the diets that our genes are used to. Now, hi, Susan. Now, if you take a good look at the dosages used in all the micronutrient studies and compare them to the we used to get from our diets and that we're genetically programmed for, it becomes really clear that when we can consume a lot more than we used to, but we are actually getting a lot less nutrient-wise than we used to. And some of you might know Murray Taylor from the Bigger Tribe. She was my course director when I trained at the Juice Academy with Jason Vale. And one of the things he always talks about is being overfed and undernourished. And that's the state of our society today, really, is that we're eating lots and lots of food, but that food doesn't really contain the nutrition that our bodies need. So we're starving for nutrients, which makes us overeat because our body says we're hungry, we need this. And then the food that we eat doesn't contain the nutrients that we need. So we think that we're still hungry and we keep wanting to eat. So while there is no replacement for a healthy diet and exercise program, today's diet isn't a healthy diet, I'm sorry to say. To stay healthy and prevent premature aging and to have more energy and vitality, we need to be supplementing on top of our healthy diet. And so I'm not suggesting that supplements are a replacement for a diet and you can eat what you want and just take a supplement, it'll be fine. But we should be working on a healthy diet, which includes supplements today. And it's taken me a long time to come to that. When I first started practicing nutrition, I really wanted to be able to say, you don't need supplements, just eat well, eat. But years of experience and practice have taught me that actually that's not enough for most people. Most people need to be supplementing as well. So while there's no replacement for a healthy diet and exercise program, we do also need some help, and this is where the Lifelong Vitality Pack comes in, along with the A to Z chewables and IQ Mega, things for children. These supplements are meant to be used on a daily basis in order to maintain a healthy lifestyle. This is not to say that other supplements can't be used on a regular basis, but these specific supplements are meant for anyone to use daily. This is why I love the fact that they come on the Loyalty Rewards program, because they give you the amount you need for 30 days and then another pack arrives with the amount you need for 30 days. If you're building up a backlog, it shows you that you're not taking your supplements properly. So the Lifelong Vitality Pack is 30-day supply of combined antioxidants, nutrients and metabolism benefits which promote and boost energy, vitality and health. While the ultimate goal of the Lifelong Vitality Pack is to promote overall health and wellness, the product are influenced by the following factors: how much rest you have, how you're looking after your diet, how you're managing your weight, physical activity, genetics and stress management. And with regards to how you manage your weight, I mean, I thought it was very interesting when I was talking to Elise Shedeby, because I had been using these lifelong vitality packs as my baseline nutrition for clients, and then topping up what was needed for specific deficiencies with specific supplements. And she pointed out that actually, you know, is it not true that we base supplement on weight? And yes, if I was going to be looking at supplements for somebody, usually I would take into account their weight and height and sex and things. And she pointed out that, you know, the lifelong vitality pack, they say for somebody over 14, well, if I've got a waif like 14-year-old girl who looks like a 10-year-old, and I've got a 40-year-old massive MMA fighter who's like 150 pounds or whatever, they're going to be different. They're going to be completely different dosages required. And so her recommendation was basically, if somebody's not feeling better on lifelong vitality, they might need to increase their dose. So maybe they take 3 capsules at a time instead of 2, or maybe, you know, they even double up if they're a very big person. And she's seen dramatic results doing that. I have only had the guts to try it once so far. I had somebody, because it's an awkward conversation, how you know, you're a lot heavier than some of my other clients, maybe you need to take a double dose. But actually we saw really great results with that, and she's been able to cut back to taking 1 dose again now. But she needed that double dose to begin with to address some pretty severe deficiencies. So don't be afraid of that. Like I said, nobody's ever died of vitamins. You're not going to kill anybody by suggesting that they up their dose. Oh, let's have some fun quiz time. We are all products of our environment and our cells. doTERRA Alpha CRS Plus is an amazing supplement to help support cellular functions. Knowing this, what do you think Alpha CRS Plus might mean? And the answer is, alpha means first or foremost, like alpha or omega from the Greek alphabet, and CRS stands for the cellular renewal system, and the plus sign reflects the improvements that have been made to the product since it was first launched by doTERRA, because it used to be Alpha CRS, it's now Alpha CRS Plus. So let's try and find out a bit more about this supplement. The antioxidants are one of the most critical components of your health. A substance with an antioxidant property inhibits molecular oxidation that produces free radicals. So the way I teach this, and I've taught this with very small children, is I get them all to pair up and hold hands. Just find yourselves a pair, there you go. And you are the electrons on a molecule. They love to be in pairs. Electrons always love to be in pairs. And then what I do is I go around and I grab my daughter's hand or my son's hand and I take them away from their partner. And then I look at the partner and say, you need to be in a pair, go find a pair. And they'll go around, and it starts this little chain reaction of children snatching hands from each other. And this is exactly what happens in our body with free radicals. Free radicals are unstable molecules that are missing 1 electron, and so they'll go and snatch it from somewhere else. And then antioxidants that you'll hear people talk about, they've got extra molecules that they don't mind donating, so we can run that whole scenario again, but me holding hands in a 3 with somebody, and then I can offer my daughter to someone and go, oh, why don't you go join that person who's on their own? And that's basically, in a very simple way, how free radicals and antioxidants work. So, for example, vitamin C is known to have a high antioxidant. That's high, friend. That's because vitamin C will donate electrons to unstable molecules and free radicals. In a nutshell, that's antioxidants. They help your body handle oxidative stress. So that's that stress that's put on the body by free radicals that are stealing these electrons from each other or from the rest of the body, as well as keeping the heart and cardiovascular system and the brain and the nervous system functioning optimally. So while these substances are contained in high concentrations in many natural and whole foods, it's difficult, like we said, to get adequate amounts on a daily basis, particularly unless you're growing your own. A lot of the fruits and vegetables that you're buying, they've been sat around for a while. They've probably, even once you've bought them, been in your fridge for a bit, and they do start to degenerate. Also, many of the best sources of antioxidant protection are found in flavonoids, which are not a regular part of most people's diets unless you're consuming lots of berries and things every day. With the most comprehensive antioxidant protection, Alpha CRS Plus contains all of your daily cellular vitality support in one easy-to-use dietary supplement. Antioxidants are very popular nutritional supplements, but the Alpha CRS Plus Cellular Vitality Complex offers a proprietary combination of natural botanical extracts that really do make it unique. It contains really potent doses of polyphenols, resveratrol, which most people know about from red grapes. You'll have heard lots and lots of people talking about superfoods. Let's drink more wine and all that kind of jazz, but you don't need more alcohol and more wine in your life. You just need the polyphenols and the resveratrol. It's got turmeric root, powerful anti-inflammatory. It supports healthy cell function. Other ingredients include Boswellia serrata and boswellic acid. So that's when you read lots of studies about frankincense. Oftentimes what people miss is it's not actually frankincense essential oil that they're talking about. It's frankincense resin, which is very different. And skeptics who don't want you talking about your frankincense essential oil will often point out actually those studies were done on frankincense resin. And it is the resin that you will find in the capsules, in the supplements, in the deep blue, for example, but it's also in the Alpha CRS Plus. It supports healthy inflammatory response in cells. It's got ginkgo biloba, which helps you to support mental clarity and function. I probably should have taken some before now. It supports cellular energy. It's got coenzyme Q10, quercetin, alpha lipoic acid. All these ingredients help with mental health and clarity and energy. It's a really comprehensive antioxidant supplement that is bioavailable. They take care of the normal digestive issues that are associated with these kinds of supplements with a tummy tamer botanical blend that's specifically to prevent upset stomachs, because sometimes supplements can upset people's stomachs. If somebody is still struggling when they take it and they feel like, oh, I get a bit of heartburn with it, you take it with food. It's not an issue to take it with food. Lots of people say supplements should be taken on an empty stomach, and agreed for you to absorb the most from them. But in reality, if somebody's stomach is getting upset by it, they're not going to keep taking it, and I'd much rather you took it with food than you didn't take it. So I always combine it. I feel better when I take them with food. So I have my supplements with some juice in the morning. And juice is great because it's bioavailable as well. It's not hard on the digestive system, but it's just enough to sort of stop my stomach acid going crazy when it touches them. Combined with a healthy diet, it's great. Lastly, so it's formulated to be used with Z Omega and Microplex VMZ as the foundation for long-lasting vitality and wellness, combined with a healthy diet and exercise. So my top 9 uses and benefits for Alpha CRS. This is being recorded, so you can just pull it back. But if not, you might want to grab a pen and paper. It aids in inhibiting oxidation, which we've said. It helps prevent that free radical damage, reduces oxidative stress to DNA and other critical cell structures. So when those electrons are stolen from DNA as it replicates, that's when we start to have problems with that. So it not only does that, but it helps with healthy energy production in cells, because when those cells are missing those little electrons, it can damage the process by which we create energy for those cells, the cell metabolism. So it supports healthy mitochondria. It supplies metabolic factors for energy production, so literally the fuel that your cells are using to create energy in the body. It's therefore helps to keep your body healthy and strong. It's got all of those cofactors help support your healthy immune system. So it's got lots and lots of vitamin A, which is really, really important, particularly at this time of year, and selenium, really important at this time of year when people are feeling a bit run down, to help keep the immune system healthy and functioning. Helps with mental focus and clarity, healthy brain. skipping some of this just to save us some time. If you have any special dietary needs or dietary restrictions, alpha CRS is usually okay. I say usually because, you know, people can be allergic to all kinds of things, but in general, most people are okay. It doesn't contain any sodium lauryl sulfate. The capsules are SLS free, which is not true of all supplements. It doesn't contain any milk or wheat or animal products. So for most people, alpha CRS plus is a good option. It's designed to work in the Lifelong Vitality Pack. So it's designed to work with the other supplements that we're going to talk about. So moving on to Microplex VMC. As we said, the modern Western diet is characterised by an overabundance of calories and a shortage of essential nutrients, that overfed and undernourished thing that we were talking about earlier. So doTERRA have developed the most advanced food nutrient complex in the industry, a daily source of nutrients that your diet does not provide. This is the one I was saying is great to show nutritional therapists. They love this one when they flip the back. So whether it's due to a busy lifestyle, simply taste, or you know what you want to eat, few of us are eating enough whole, unrefined fruits and vegetables to meet our body's fundamental nutrient needs. The contemporary Western diet is often referred to as the meat-sweet diet and is characterised by cheap processed grains, fatty, you know, battery farmed meats, loads of sugar, and then hardly any fibre or vitamins or minerals. And researchers estimate that nearly half of us are at risk of deficiencies, like symptomatic deficiencies of vitamin D, magnesium, vitamin A and calcium. So you can be deficient in those things as in not enough for optimal health, and that's not really included in diagnostic criteria. This means deficient enough that you're actually suffering and have symptoms that you've seen a doctor about, and it's the root cause is one of these vitamin deficiencies. Yeah, those are pretty severe deficiencies. Trying to obtain all of the recommended daily intakes of 26 vitamins, minerals and micronutrients from food alone is really tough. These concerns, supplementing with a multivitamin and mineral complex is a near necessity for most individuals. But as we've said, conventional products aren't usually very bioavailable, and they, you know, ultimately they're often doing more harm than good. If you're taking a cheaper supplement and it's got gluten in it, or it's got sugar in it, or, you know, often there's more starch in the capsule than there is vitamin. So not a huge fan of cheap supplements. Bioavailability is a huge deal when we're talking about vitamins and supplements. We need to make sure that we are absorbing what we're taking, and that's why taking a balanced group of supplements is really important. Even before I worked with doTERRA, I always said to people, you've got to stick within a brand, because to get balanced vitamin and nutrient supplements, if you're taking a bit here, a bit there, a bit everywhere, you end up with very unbalanced nutrient intake. I've always said to people, stick within brand, and now I'm with doTERRA, I say stick with Lifelong Vitality. So what's the answer if you can't meet these daily intakes? Well, the Microplex VMZ food nutrient complex is revolutionary in the nutritional world, being the first vitamin and mineral supplement to be developed with a typical contemporary diet in mind. So I haven't actually got the slides, but I'm sure somebody posted in the tribe recently, you might be able to find them. It was, what's the standard diet look like? What does the standard diet plus cheap vitamins look like? Standard diet with expensive vitamins, and standard diet with Lifelong Vitality Pack. And it's, you can see even on the expensive vitamins that they're massively overdosing in some areas and underdosing in others. And because doTERRA have taken the standard diet and then looked at how to supplement that rather than just what does your body need. So some of the higher end vitamins, they look at what does your body need and try and give you all of that in a supplement. But what doTERRA have done is looked at the standard diet and taken that away from what does your body need, and then created a supplement that supplements what your body needs minus your diet rather than just the whole thing. So it's designed to work with your diet. The food nutrient complex sets the standard by providing highly bioavailable vitamins, minerals and trace elements in proportion to the work that we make it and not against it. It's formulated with ingredients that meet the FDA's generally recognised as safe standards. Each day provides vast amounts of vitamins and minerals to work with your diet without exceeding what you need. So vitamins A, C and E, a synergistic complex of B vitamins. It's got 800 IU of vitamin D, that's international units, which is a great standard dose that everyone should be taking. Lots of times people look at vitamin D supplementing and they only sort of take it in the winter. But it takes about 6 months to build up your vitamin D stores. So if you're only taking it in the winter, it's really not going to be doing you any help with your seasonal affective disorder or whatever, because you need to be taking a consistent all year round your vitamin D levels high. To address absorption concerns, many of the minerals are combined with amino acids that create chelated minerals and substances that are really, really bioavailable, so much more readily absorbed into the body. They are, let's see, quiz time. If we look at the D omega or the V omega, so we've got these are your essential fatty acid supplements, and we've got the vegan version or the not vegan version. So Z omega isn't vegan. I think it contains some products found from fish, and that's why it's not considered vegan. And we've got the V omega, which is the non-animal product version. They're both excellent. The Z omega has slightly more nutritional value, so it's got slightly higher doses of vitamin A, slightly higher dose of vitamin D, slightly higher dose, but they're both very good supplements. And it's a unique formula with certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils, as well as marine and land sourced omega fatty acids. The marine one is the Z omega. Obviously the vegan version doesn't have the marine sources, it's just land sourced omega fatty acids. So what are the potential benefits? A, promoting healthy heart and circulatory health. B, supporting healthy joint function and comfort. C, providing immune boosting nutrients. D, supporting healthy function for the eyes, brains and nervous system. E, promoting healthy skin. Or F, it's a trick question, all of the above. Well, the answer is obviously F. Z omega is a fantastic product. It's all of the above. They are great benefits to it. So as we said, it's land-based and marine-based if you're looking at the Z omega rather than the V omega. Fatty acids with therapeutic grade essential oils. Remember that a lot of the vitamins in the other two packs are oil-based vitamins or oil-soluble vitamins. So by taking them with the fatty acid, taking all of these supplements together, you're increasing the ability of your body to absorb them. They're particularly good for cardiovascular health, immune system, joints, cellular growth, brain development and proper inflammatory response. A few years ago when I was at school, it became very popular to take omega-3 supplements when you were studying or for exams, and there were lots of studies that showed improved cognitive performance, even just taking just the omega-3. Actually, you know, taking omega-3, enough of it can be quite a challenge for most diets, unless you eat lots of oily fish and marine algae, which can be quite expensive and honestly doesn't taste great. Maybe you like it. I'm not a huge fan of fish flavoured things, including algae. But taking the supplements is a really, really easy way to do that, and to protect the brain, protect brain function, increase memory and cognitive function. I'm a big fan of this supplement for the bang for buck on the other supplements because it improves their availability, but also just on its own. I think it's great and really important for children's health as well, although obviously this supplement is not for under 14s, but we do have the IQ Mega for children. I feel like most children would benefit from some kind of essential fatty acid supplement, even if you weren't doing a whole vitamin program, although ideally vitamin programs are the best. It's specifically designed to be used with the Microplex VMC and Alpha CRS, as we've said, and to make sure that you are getting the best out of them. But on its own, here are the top 10 benefits of this one supplement. So, essential fatty acids are important nutritional building blocks for proper functions of many body systems, promoting cardiovascular health, nervous and immune system function. As we age, things like health of joints and range of mobility and simply the ease of getting around becomes more important. These supplements are great for supporting joint function and comfort, all the lubrication between the joints, so things like creaky knees and elbows and things. Lots and lots of studies have shown that these omega fatty acids are important for maintaining joint health and mobility, and also help increase blood flow during exercise, which means that you recover faster and perform better. You know, if you're a competitive athlete, you should be taking these. No matter what our age, being able to get around easily and comfortably is something that we all want to experience realistically. Sustaining healthy function of the immune system, particularly this time of year when seasonal threats are high, it's really important to support the immune system. Lots and lots of research again shows that essential fatty acids enhance the function of white blood cells, which are an important part of keeping your immune system healthy. They're great for cardiovascular health. They help prevent against lipid oxidation. So again, we talked about oxidative stress with those free radicals. Omega fatty acids are really good for preventing when fats start to spoil within the body. And they support healthy function of brain, eyes and nervous system. They are beneficial for internal systems, but also for promoting healthy skin. Oftentimes, you know, you keep putting moisturiser on, but your skin's dry. There's a difference between dry and dehydrated skin. So dry is external. We need to put something on it. And dehydrated is internal. You're not drinking enough water and you're not taking enough essential fatty acids. And no amount of moisturiser is going to compensate. All that happens is you get dry, spotty skin. So when you deal with occasional skin irritations, blemishes and things, often these can be improved with diet. If you want a smoother complexion or younger looking skin, then this is a supplement for you. It contains EPA, DHA, ALA and SDA. These are all great for brain function and health. While other omega-3 supplements may also promise impressive health benefits, Z-Omega is unique because it contains a proprietary blend of the certified pure therapeutic grade essential oils: clove, frankincense, thyme, cumin, wild orange, peppermint, ginger, caraway, and German chamomile, which combine together to enhance the efficacy through antioxidant protection. You know, lots and lots of posts I see going around, people talking about, oh, a drop of this and a drop of this and a drop of this in a little vegetable capsule, and you think, which is great, but who's got time to be making that many? I applaud you, those of you that are making your own capsules with essential oils in. I think that's very impressive. But actually, if you look through the Lifelong Vitality Pack, most of the oils that you're taking internally are already in there, and it makes it super easy. I'm a big fan of easy, hence why instead of making my own capsules with lavender and cedarwood and what have you before bed, just take Serenity capsules. It's very, very simple, guys. The Omega also includes 800 IU of natural vitamin D and 20 IU of natural vitamin E. That's international units. Remember, we already talked about in Microplex VMZ that it had vitamin D in as well. So we're now talking about it in 1,600 international units of vitamin D, which is a therapeutic dose. Anything over 1,000 is considered a therapeutic dose for people with deficiencies. Vitamin E has antioxidant capacity as well, helps with healthy immune function. Vitamin D, we all know, is really important for bone health, for your immune system, for your mental health, and for suppressing inflammatory responses. So people with chronic inflammation, where they're long-term suffering with things, trying to remain compliant here. But you know what I mean, conditions where we're just like, there's lots of high levels of inflammation in the body that are causing lots of issues systemically all over. Really great for suppressing inflammatory response. It's It's got astaxanthin, which is, again, lots of studies you can look up about how important that is in its antioxidant capacity, benefits for the circulation, supporting eye health and eyesight, particularly as we age, improving muscle strength and endurance, aiding the liver and digestive system, supporting the skin and healthy immune system. With lots of these things, we sort of say as we age, joint pain and, you know, joint health, or sorry, I should say, or muscle strength or sight and things like that. And I always sort of say to people, the average, I think that there was a study released recently, the average person over 80 is on 12 to 15 pills a day. Now, I'd rather start taking my lifelong vitality now and take a smaller number of pills forever than be on loads of pharmaceutical drugs at the age of 80, because, you know, the reality is you are going to have to learn to take pills. You know, lots of people say to me, oh, it's so many pills, I don't like taking pills. You're going to have to take pills. I'd much rather take something that's gentle and proactively look after my health. And you do get used to them. You do get used to taking that many pills every day. You can start small if you want and build up, but you will get used to it. I literally think nothing of taking a handful of pills in the morning now. But I'd rather do that than end up on lots and lots of pharmaceutical drugs as I get older. So, as mentioned, Z omega is considered a far-reaching supplement capable of providing the body with vital nutrients that it cannot produce on its own. Along with these benefits, Z omega has been specifically formulated to be used with microplex VMZ and alpha CRS as part of a comprehensive dietary supplement foundation for a lifetime of vitality and wellness. Now, at this point in a class, normally what I would do is move on to basically the close, you know, telling people how to purchase them, explaining the benefits of the Lifelong Vitality Programme. These supplements on their own, if you bought them individually, I think when I worked out the other day, they were about £130. By taking them as part of the Lifelong Vitality Programme, they come down to 60. Although now I'm going to have to recalculate all of that now because we've got VAT in the back office, which means they come to 72, which means they come to a lot more than 130 bought individually. To buy the pack together, it comes down to 72, which actually, because you get 10% product credit back and then 15 and 20 and 30, you can basically, it comes down to, I mean, I'm on 30% back now, so it costs me about £50 a month instead of probably 150 or 160 that it would cost if I was buying those supplements individually. So that's a really good way to talk about them with people, because they are hugely beneficial supplements, but they're also really, really good value. You don't get supplements of this quality cheaper elsewhere. And believe me, if I could, I would be taking them. It's well worth. I love that they're only available on the loyalty rewards program, because I think that's actually a really good selling point of, look, when you take them regularly, we'll reward you for being consistent with taking them. And speaking of rewards, I don't know how many of you have heard of the TerraFit program. If that is something you're interested in, it's basically, so the next challenge is starting on the 9th of January. And it's a 6-week program, 6-week challenge where you log your exercise, how much water you're drinking, what you're eating, whether you've taken your supplements and used your oils and things like that. And you basically get rewarded with points for that. And you can join a team. If you want to join my team, maybe when Kathy puts the recording up, I'll put a link down so you can join my team. And you put in $20 to join it for 6 weeks. And then all of those $20 are used as a cash prize for, there's team prizes for most weight loss, there's individual prizes, there's prizes for the most points, there's all kinds of different prizes. But basically it motivates people to do these good habits and these healthy things that will help them. But it also helps them to, it motivates you. You work as a team, you do it together, you can earn money for it. And it's great. I love it. It's also a really good way of getting people onto LRP, because you can re-engage customers by talking to them about, hey, it's the new year. Do you want to join this program? We work as a team. We might win some money. But as part of it, to earn their points, they've got to be on the loyalty rewards program because they need it to get their lifelong vitality supplements. So as wellness advocates, I think TerraFit's brilliant. If you've never done it before, please feel free to join my team. Just drop me a message through Kathy's group or on the messenger group, and I'll be more than happy to share my link with you and let you guys sign up. So that's it really. Unless anybody had any questions, feel free to unmute yourselves if you've got some questions. I need to go in about 15 minutes just because I've got a client coming. So, but yeah, open for any questions. Otherwise, otherwise we can go. No questions?
Hi, it's Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Hiya. I've been told I need to take an iodine supplement. Is that sort of inclusive in the lifelong vitality? Is there an iodine?
Yes, there is. Who told you that you need to take iodine?
I went to see a nutritionist and I had an Infinity. Have you heard of the Infinity? An energy body scan.
Okay, yeah.
And I've been vegan for a long time, and I've just actually gone back to vegetarianism.
I was how much like algae and seafoods are you eating as a vegan? Because I mean, seaweed and things, that's one of the best sources of iodine there is. But
I did.
Would be a problem.
I don't like it, so I didn't eat it.
Right. Okay, so that would be a problem. You probably do need to supplement iodine. Yes, the lifelong vitality contains some, but if you've been vegan for a long time and you don't like seaweeds or algae, then you probably do need to supplement. That wouldn't be an oral supplement though. That's something that you would take transdermally through your skin. So I think mine's downstairs, otherwise I'd show you. But it'll basically come with a little dropper. Right. And you put it on your skin. You can do like a little 50p sized dot on your skin. It's going to go brown like a little henna tattoo or something. That brown stain should last about 12 hours. If it disappears very quickly, you're deficient and it's going to absorb in really quickly. So when you're deficient, sometimes it can disappear in as little as 2 to 3 minutes. It'll go very, very quickly. So I always recommend do it somewhere where nobody's going to see it, so except you, so that you're not walking around with a brown stain on you. My kids quite like it. They call it tattoos, and we do draw a little sun on their arm, and they can, if you're not deficient, it'll be there for 24 hours or so.
Oh, okay. So, and I can get that from like the Nutri Centre or somewhere.
Yes, yeah. And I mean, I buy that on Amazon. That's very cheap. Just liquid iodine, and you can draw it. I draw it around my belly button because it helps me to get the size right and do myself a nice little circle. And then you can just see when it absorbs. Ideally, it would be great if you were taking some spirulina or some kind of seaweed-based foods into your diet. But if you really, really can't stand it, then I would recommend that you take it transdermally, yeah.
KJ, just to say thank you so much. It's been so interesting this morning, and like the supplements are always a bit of a sticking point. I know certain amounts about them, but that's just been brilliant this morning, so thank you.
Oh, I'm glad it was helpful.
Yeah, I'm going to watch this video like about 10 times probably to get the information again. I've been scribbling away, but it's been brilliant. Thank you.
I thought I'd try and teach it in the way that I would teach somebody who was new to doTERRA rather than trying to
fantastic. Thank you. Actually,
realistically, you
inspired me actually, because I sort of think there's a lot of people, I tend to talk about the oils a lot, and the supplements is kind of like, I know it's important, but I don't know enough about it. But it makes me think it would be worth, there'd be value in trying to do a class for my people actually teaching about it. But
supplements is the backbone of my business, because that's everybody on LLP. And they're all, they're on LLP, they're all over 50 points, which is why I say, the 15, 20, 30% build up is guaranteed if they're on LLV. There's none of this, or you have to spend 50 PV to make it, and they're scratching around going, well, I don't know if I want to spend that this month. They're just buying that one supplement. It's a monthly supply. They're always increasing their discount. And then, the reality is a lot of those people will then be tempted by, oh, if I like product of the month, I'll buy a couple of oils so that I can get that. rather than saying to people, you've got to spend 125 PV. I'm literally saying to people, why don't you spend another 30 quid and get the free oil? You know, it makes a big difference, I think. And then, I mean, obviously didn't have time to go into it today, but you can bolt onto LLV. I think a lot of people don't realise for £20 you can bolt on either the Deep Blue or the Mito 2 Max. And in fact, you can bolt both of them on, or you can bolt 2 of one. I bolt both of them on. I find the Deep Blue is brilliant, particularly for athletes. I use it after training too. So I do like an MMA, and to get rid of bruising and things, it's brilliant for helping with recovery from any kind of contact sports. And Mito 2 Max, again, it's cologne tested. You can use it before competitions. It's absolutely fine. Brilliant for increasing energy. Great for anybody with energy issues. I don't want to, I'm trying to remain compliant, but you know what I mean, people who are tired all the time. It's really, really good for that. The only warning I would say with the Mito 2 Max is you must encourage people to drink lots of water, because it does speed up your metabolism, which is great if you're trying to lose weight, but as your metabolism increases, you will urinate more and people become dehydrated very quickly. So really, really important, particularly if they're dehydrated anyway, and then they take that supplement and they go, oh, it gives me a headache. Well, you've got a headache because you're not drinking water. You know, so really, I massively encourage people, if they're taking the Mito 2 Max, that they must really increase their water intake with it. Yeah.
Thank you.
No worries. That is part of the TerraFit program. So they recommend that you're on LLV with the Mito 2 Max bolted on. And then they track on the app, you're tracking how much water you take in as well, how many glasses of water you have a day. And they've slightly increased what their sort of recommended dose is on the basis that you're taking Mito 2 Max. So they want you to be drinking lots and lots of water.
Interesting.
Yeah, have a look. The TerraFit website's brilliant. I really, really like it. From a business point of view, I think it's a great way of re-engaging customers who are using something, to be able to say to them, why don't you do this? It's only 6 weeks. I mean, they do different challenges all year. There's like a 12-week challenge normally, but for the new year, they're just doing a little 6-week one, which I think is actually quite easy to engage people with. So yeah.
Excellent. I'll have a look. Thank you.
I'm afraid I have to shoot, guys, because I've got a client arriving in 10 minutes and I need to just go get my notes together. But thanks so much for coming, and thanks to everyone listening to the recording. I hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to ask questions in the comments and I'll try and answer them if I can, once Kathy uploads this. Yeah, I'll obviously try and keep it compliant now, so not lots of individual questions about your specific health concern, but if we can keep it sort of generalised to everybody, then I'm really, really happy to answer questions. Cool. See you soon. Bye.